Alright, today is brew day for the smoked porter. This is my first time ever trying this, so I'm not going to mess with the ingredients too much. Usually after I try the original recipe, and then I will mix things up the next time I make it to try to dial in right exactly where I want it. So let's get started. Right now we got the water going, getting ready for the steep, for the grains to make the wort. I have the grains already in their bag, so let's see if you can see this. What we'll do is put her in there. I'm going to try to get all of the grains submerged in the water, and then what we'll do is we'll move it around every few minutes. We'll leave that in there for about 25 minutes. Alright, I like my my steeping temperature right at about 150. So you can see here, what we'll do is when it starts going down, when it hits 140, I put the lid back on. So right now it's at 150. That's where I like it. And like I said, we'll do that for about 25 minutes. I'll let you see it real quick, and we'll put the lid back on. And then I just move it around every now and then. I'll move it, flip it over, and then that's what we'll do. Alright, so the malt we put in some crushed biscuit, 4 ounces of that, crushed coffee, 2 ounces of that, crushed cherry smoked malt, that's 1 pound. That smelled delicious. And then crushed Cara Brown malt, 8 ounces of that, and crushed chocolate barley, 8 ounces of that. So we put all these 4 in one bag, and we got it steeping still, and then we will go from there. You'll see what happens next. Alright, so it's been about 25 minutes or so. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift this up, let some drain off in there, and then this is actually what I do. I take it and I move it to my bucket, which everything's going in eventually anyway. So that is going to drain out in there. Now we are going to add our liquid extract. So this is liquid malt extract. We're going to add 2 cans of this, and it's a really messy job, so I'm going to pause this, and then we'll start stirring it. We want it at a gentle roll right now, or gentle boil. Alright, so we put all of the extract in there, and now we're going to stir it. What you don't want it to stick on the bottom, so you have to stay on top of it and just keep stirring. And when this gets back to a gentle boil, like a rolling boil, so it's not like spitting up or anything like that, but it's not just tiny, tiny, tiny ripples. And then we are going to move on to the next part. Alright, we added our first set of hops, which is the Centennial Pellets Alpha Acid 10.8%. See these, see the boil, that's exactly what we want. So there's the bag of my hops. I put all my hops in a hop sack because I don't like it to get messy, and it's just easier for me. We're going to boil that for 55 minutes. We're going to keep an eye on it, and then we add the second set of hops for only a fraction of that. So 55 minutes, we sit here, we stir it, we boil it, make sure nothing sticks on the bottom. Alright, so we put our last bag of hops in there for 5 minutes, and now we gotta cool this sucker down. I do 2 things to cool it down. I used to use the copper pipe that swirled in there, and you hook it up to a garden hose. I used to do that, and then I found this. So basically these 3 gallons of water, I use well water from my own house, have been sitting in the freezer, and you just put them around your pan, and then you just let the liquid come out real slow, like that. That way you don't get as much sediment as possible. Once that drains all the way down, and then I add the 3 gallons of water, and you'll see that in a second. Once it's all topped up, and then you'll see me, we'll check the gravity, and then we'll throw the yeast. Alright, so we checked our final gravity. It's 15 or 60. We are ready to add the yeast. This is dry ale yeast from Fermentis. Once we pitch the yeast, then we're going to take it inside. That's that. I did add a little bit of extra dextrose powder to bump up the alcohol level. That's the only thing I did different from the directions. Alright, you'll see the finished product. What I'll do is, in a few days, I'll transfer that to a secondary, but you don't need to see that. And we'll show you the finished product. Keep watching all the videos.